Hi folks, I'm going to try and show you how to do a dome with a lip in Tinkercad. I'm going to bring in a sphere straight away. What is this? It's 20 by 20, that's fine. Let's zoom in on that. What I'm going to do with this now, secondly, is bring in another dome, sphere. I'm going to make that a whole sphere. I'm going to make this 18 by 18. Cool. Alright, and also height has to be 18 because it's three-dimensional. I'm happy with that. I'm going to bring in another sphere and I'm going to make this 19 by 19, and also the height needs to be 19. Okay, great. So let's get these together. Okay, so first things first. So these two together, I'm going to use the align button. I'm going to align them like this, center them, and do I need to center them this way as well? I do. So they're perfectly centered. And I'm going to group them. Okay, great. I'm going to bring in a box. I'm going to turn it into a hole. You can use a whole box if you prefer. And I'm going to make this a height of 19. Now remember, my inner sphere is 18, my outer sphere is 19. Actually it's 8.5. I want to do half because remember we want to make hemispheres. Take these two, I'm going to align them, center them, do this with them. Oh no, this way. And do we need to center? No, we don't want to center them, but we want to make sure that this is actually on the bottom. So let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look. Is that on 0? Make sure it's on 0, otherwise it's not going to be halved properly. Select both. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to drag this square up by 8.5 so we can look down into the sphere, or to the 8.5. Excuse me, it's 9.5. 9.5, and the actual size of this needs to be 9.5. My mistake. So let's have a look at the size. Yeah, it's 9.5, so that's correct. So I'm going to just align these again. Top, center, center. And that should be right on the top. Way of testing this would be to take this, drop it, and do duplicate. Let's have a look. It looks fine to me actually. Let's just undo that. It is actually at the top. It's just kind of a trick of the perspective on a CAD program. So I'm going to grab these, and there we go. We've got half a hemisphere there. Okay, great, fantastic. Right. Now what I want to do is I want to have a sort of an inner lip if possible. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to bring in a cylinder. I'm going to make the inner part of this cylinder, I'll make it 18 by 18, so that's the sort of size of our hole. And I'm also going to make this 2 high. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop another cylinder in here, and I'm going to make this 16 by 16, and I'm just going to group the two of them together, but first I need to align them. Center, center, and now group, and I've got a ring. Okay, great. So let's take this ring over here, let's align them both. So center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and this. I'm going to align them. Let's see if I can do this. Yes, I can. Brilliant. Okay, so all that remains to be done is for me to use this ring both as a positive and a negative. So I'm going to increase the height of this. I'm going to keep the height the same. I'm going to increase the height of it up to 4. See what happens. Nice. Okay, I think 4 is probably a little too high, so I'll do 3. That's fine. It's great. Okay, so what I need to do next is I need to do this both positive and negative. I don't need that. I'm going to take this and what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to move it over here, and hopefully this is sort of a clever move on my part. For one of them, I'm going to group them. That becomes solid. And for one of them, I'm going to turn this into a hole, and I'm going to group them. And that becomes an inner lip. There you have it. I suppose I could test this by rotating this 180 degrees. I'm just going to type that in as a value 180. Lifting it up, I think it was 9.5. I want to say 9.5 because that was half of 19, remember? And let's align the two like that, and it kind of looks like to me as though that's a perfect fit. Let's check that. Let's put a hole on that. Now you can actually see one of the things I could improve is that lip that I've made on the inside is actually a little bit higher than it should be. You could ungroup this and make that draw that down, but I'm not going to mess around with that. So that's absolutely fine. Now when you're printing this, I'm going to make that solid again. It's very important that you have both of these objects flat on the ground. So 9.5, wasn't it? Well, it should sort of say when I hit the ground here, yeah, it was 9.5. You'll kind of go down, you'll see it goes down to 0. Perfect. This shape here, I think as well, it's probably a good idea to turn this around 180 degrees. It just prints better. And is that on the ground? It is, it's perfect. It's ready to 3D print. Maybe just give them a little bit of space from each other. And so that's going to give you a lovely sphere which you can click inside. Now if you say, for example, want to string some electronics through this, you're going to have to make a little hole. So what you should do is make a little hole which is, let's say 3 by 3 millimeters, and then you can center that in one of these by using the line tool. 1, 2, and then just doing a group. You've got a hole there to string your electronics through. So you've basically got the ability there. If you are 3D printing in, let's say, something which is translucent material or clear material, you can actually put your electronics or your light bulbs inside of that, and you can either glue it together or just kind of click it together so it can be opened again. Okay, hope you found that helpful. Thanks for watching.